everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am so glad you're here today. Today I am hopping on. I am in our basement kitchen with the vintage stove and fridge that we love so much down here. And this is where I do a lot of my dyeing. So that's what this video is going to be today. I have talked a lot lately about having extra fiber from when I was sick, and I'm still trying to play catch up with all the fiber. This is just some of my white. I do have 6 or 7 pure white Angora rabbits right now. So this last grooming that I did, I have an abundance of white, and I wanted to do some dyeing today. I put out a question to see, it was in one of my previous videos, to see which color you would like to have me dye, and I did get a lot of responses. Most of the responses were colors that I have already done. And so in my last Fiber Friday video, if you go back, I go through some of the colors that I've done that you guys requested: the pinks, the blues, greens, some autumn colors. And so today I am going to go ahead and I'm actually going to do 2 different colors today that we're going to work with. This is going to be a 2-part video because I'm going to dye it in this video, and then in the next video that I'm going to do, it'll be totally separate. I am going to card the dyed fiber to show you what it looks like when it's all done dyeing and drying, and then I'm going to card it and spin it for you. So we are, like I said, I have this huge bowl of beautiful white Angora. White is a great color to have if you are just getting started on your journey and you are very interested in dyeing fibers, Angora fibers. White would be a great rabbit to start with. I have another video, I will put it up here in the corner, that I did, I think last year, where I talked about how the colors pick up. And when you have like a gray or chestnut or a black Angora rabbit, or even, I haven't tried dyeing my red. I should do that in a video. Maybe I'll try that next time. But when you dye natural colored yarn fibers, that natural color of the fiber does come through a little bit, and it changes the color of what you're going to get from it. Where the white, it's going to come through pretty clear with the white fiber. Whatever color you dye it is what you're going to get. So I'll remember to link that video, and maybe I'll try dyeing some of my red here in the next couple of videos. So what you need, and I have done this many ways. I have a Kool-Aid dye video that you could watch on my channel, and I dyed Angora last spring, I think. So you could use Kool-Aid. You can use Wilton cake dyes, are a great inexpensive way to start, and they're easy to find. You can find them at Walmart, Hobby Lobby, and they are just the gel cake dyes. Those work really well. That's how kind of I started on my journey before I started spending money on acid dyes and things like that. They work really well. So those are 2 other options. What I'm using today is the Jacquard acid dyes. I have quite a few different colors, and I am no color matcher person. My husband does that for his job, and he's really good at it, which shocks me because I swear he's colorblind when he puts his clothes on, but he is really good at color matching things for his job. So I'm going to attempt to be as good as he is, and I am going to mix some colors today. And then I have a Wash Fast acid dye. I will put a link to all of these down below. You can get these through Amazon. These ones I think I got from Paradise Fibers. I think it was Paradise Fibers. And they have quite a few instructions and things on them. All of these I'm going to use vinegar as a mordant today. I am not going real deep into this video. I've done it before with different mordants and things like that, but this is going to help us to set the color into our fiber. And so we're going to do, I brought my flowers in from outside. I was going to do all 3 of these colors. I just find this so beautiful. This is outside on my porch right now. But I've decided I have never done a goldenrod yellow. So that's the one I'm going to attempt. I do not have a lot of these dyes. So you can get a set, a basic set, the red, blue, and yellow. And then it comes with a chart on how to get other colors. So if you have that knowledge of color mixing, you can do a lot with just 3 colors. And I also have, you can get like Kelly green, and I have this one here in my hand is a salmon. I actually, to get the goldenrod, I do not have the colors that they recommend, but I'm going to attempt to get it using a bright yellow. I think that's the one I wanted to use. I also pulled out a sun yellow, but I feel like this is just too yellow. So I have a bright yellow, which I know it's a little bit dark down here. This is our basement room. So I know it's a bit darker than what upstairs is, but this is where I have all my stuff. So that's a jacquard bright yellow. And this is a salmon. They recommended an orange, and I don't have, although I have a pumpkin orange. This is one of the wash fast acid dyes. This is a pumpkin orange, and I'm not sure if this is going to achieve what I want. So I'm going to start with these two, and I'm going to mix the colors and see what I get. The other one I'm going to color is strictly a purple. I have the acid purple dye, which purple is my all-time favorite color. I have loved the color purple since I was like in 2nd grade and got an outfit that was, you know, lilac purple. It's always been my favorite color, and to this day is my favorite color. All my things are purple. And so I thought, I don't think I've ever dyed anything purple. Nope, I take that back. I did work with some purple when I was doing my dog Pygora, alpaca and Angora shawl. I did dye that purple, but it was a mix of fibers and colors, and so it came out sort of blended in there. So I've already got my hands dirty. I do have gloves. So we're going to try a straight purple on some of this. This is almost 5 ounces of fiber. This is 4.75 ounces. So I'm going to split it. Do I want to do half? I think I'll split it in half. And we're going to do a little science experiment here. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to run some water in a pan in the sink, and I am going to soak this. I have talked about how, I don't want this pooping. I have talked about how, actually I might film this. Let me finish my sentence and then I'm going to shift you over. How Angora is somewhat water resistant, water repellent to some degree. And you really need to saturate it before you do your dyeing. Otherwise, you're going to come out with some mixed results in regards to pieces and parts that are either not saturated enough or were dry. And I'll pause this and flip the camera around and show you what I'm talking about. So the first step is we're going to soak this in just some plain water. Okay, so I have a dish here, and all of the dishes that I'm using today I use for strictly dyeing. Once I started using them for dyeing, all my pots and stuff, my strainer, they are all kept in this area just for dyeing and for nothing else. So keep that in mind. You might, Goodwill is a great place to find dishes to use for this. So I'm going to saturate this, and I think you can kind of see, it's like that sand. Let's see. It just does not want to saturate very well. So you can kind of see how there are areas. So this is going to soak in here for just a few minutes. Put you back down. And I'm going to hold it down until it does start getting saturated. That's why this makes great hats, even if you blend it with something else. It does have, so in the winter when it's snowy or sleeting or whatever, it does have a waterproof or water resistant. I wouldn't say waterproof. See, I'm opening this up and this is all still dry in here. So I am going to continue to do this, and it's going to take me a couple minutes to get this fully saturated because this is a lot of fiber. So let me pause you. I'm going to just saturate this and then we'll move on to the dyeing part. Okay, so I've got my saturated fiber sitting here, and it is mostly saturated. Even when I go through it, there are still some dry spots, which is crazy. But as long as most of it is pretty saturated, you're going to do okay. And plus, you're going to be doing it in the pot anyways. You can, sorry, I wanted to grab a towel. You can kind of stir it and things like that. You can also, crock pot dye is a great way to start out dyeing, because it's a little bit, you don't have to watch it over the stove. You can just put everything in the crock pot and just turn it on and let it sit there. And it's easier. You don't have to monitor quite as much. So that might be a good idea for beginners. And actually, I get my crock pots from Goodwill also. That's a great way to find used crock pots that aren't, too expensive. I have 2 pots back here on the stove. I'm going to fully admit that I am not a recipe follower. I know that's going to drive some of you more technical people nuts, but I kind of fly by the seat of my pants with most things. So I am not measuring. I know about how much I need. And the beauty with this is if I do need more vinegar or even more color, I can add it as I go. Start with the least amount of color. You can always add to it if you want to get darker or whatever. You can't take it away, just like cooking. So I'm going to do a few glugs of vinegar in each one of these pots. And these are pretty big pots. You want to have enough space where your yarn or fiber can kind of move around in there too. So I have really big pots. And I'm going to turn these on high to get them going. I'm going to start with, and I am going to put gloves on because I do not want my hands all dyed today. And it's probably better for me anyway. So this is about all the safety equipment I use. I don't wear goggles or anything like that. I don't wear a respirator because I'm not doing, I suppose if you were doing really large batches, that would be something you would want to look into. I do such small batches that I'm using just little half teaspoons or whatever. So I'm going to start with the purple, and I'm going to put it in the back pot here. And I'm going to start with a half a teaspoon and see where that gets us and let that start cooking. Again, I can add more to that if I want to go deeper. I'm kind of looking for a fally purple color. Now the trick with these ones, let me rinse this. I should have rinsed that in the pot. It had a lot of color on it. The trick with this color is I am not quite sure what I'm going to get out of this. So I'm going to kind of play with this a little bit to get my color. So I'm going to start with, what did I read? I was looking for the color I want to get, the goldenrod. It was like, this was for a big batch though. This was for like a pound of fiber. It was 4 teaspoons of yellow to 1 teaspoon of the orange. Well, I'm using a salmon, so I'm going to kind of do maybe a teaspoon of the yellow and half a teaspoon of the salmon and see what we get from that. And I'm guessing I'm not going to get my goldenrod color that I would really like to get, but we'll see how close we can get. And if I have to, I suppose I could have my husband come in and help me out with this, although he's busy at work too. So there's my yellow. And actually, I can already tell I'm going to probably have to put more in there. Do a second one of that. So that ends up being a teaspoon of the yellow. Then half of the salmon. And I'm going to let that kind of come together. I already can tell, and I don't have much of this yellow left. I can already tell I need more yellow. So what I'm going to do actually is I am going to pull out this sunny bright yellow. Because I think this is a very orange in there right now. Oops, I think I put it away. So I'm going to add sun yellow to this to grab more of the yellow rather than the orange. So I'm just going to stir these and let them start doing their thing. And once I get them heated, I will put our fiber in and we'll see where we get to. Okay, so I have everything mixed and I wasn't sure about the goldenrod that I'm getting, but I took just a little piece of the fiber that I'm going to end up putting in, and as you can see, it is still not saturated. You could see the white coming through, but the parts that did get saturated, I have almost got a goldenrod yellow, so I'm super excited about that. And again, I cannot give you a recipe because I don't have one, but it is really close to that color. So I'm really happy about that. So I'm going to divide this fiber here. Let's see. And I'm not going to weigh it. I'm just going to take about half of it because I really have no plans for this fiber other than to do this video with it, and then I'm going to spin it and stuff. So I don't have a specific plan for it that I have to make anything. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball it here and put that in there and give it a good stir. And I will bring the camera around here in just a second and show you what I'm getting. And then and I don't want to mix colors, so I'm going to take off my gloves because I've got yellow on those. For the purple, and I'm not sure, I may end up having to add more color to the purple, but we'll see here, and I can do that as I go along. Maybe not. And I'm just stirring this and pulling apart pieces. As this sits in here and gets more and more saturated, the fibers will get saturated also. Let me pause you. I'm going to take you over there to show you. Okay, so there is my goldenrod. I just set this in here. I haven't really stirred this one at all. So you can see I've got a goldenrod yellow right now. I need to stir it around. You can see right in there is pure white. That's where it's kind of dry in there. So I'm going to really stir this in. And then there is my purple. So I'm going to let this sit on the stove here for just, I don't know, I'm going to kind of keep an eye on it. And as the fiber saturates the dye, you will start seeing clear water in there. Now with the orange one, or the goldenrod one, I may have put way too much dye in there to try to get the right color. So I can add water to this. I can add a little bit more vinegar. I'm just going to kind of keep an eye on it and see what it does. So I'll bring you back when it's all done. Okay guys, I am back. As you can kind of see from the color, this did not turn out anything like I had hoped to. Obviously, I do need hubby's help in doing some color matching, but I'm not mad at it. So let me pull it real quick. The water is starting to clear, but I put a lot of dye in this one. So you can see it's kind of clear over here. but I'm pretty sure this is totally saturated. So I am not going to get any more color into that fiber. Typically, if you do it correctly and not use too much, you're going to have clear water when you're done. So I have a really gorgeous orange color. Now, some of this is going to come out in the rinsing, but that's the orange I'm getting. And it is going to lighten up a little bit, I can see, because I oversaturated the dye on it. Real quick, let me rinse this. I am going to let these sit in here for just a few minutes and kind of saturate what they can out of it. But the purple turned out gorgeous also. So the purple is a beautiful deep fall purple tone. That's what I wanted. So again, I'm going to let both of these sit in here for just a little bit longer, and then I am going to put them on. Let me move you here. I apologize for the jiggling. I'm going to let them dry on my drying rack, and once they are dry this week, I'm going to do video number 2, where we will card it, or I will card it, show you how I card it, and then we'll spin it and see what we get. I'm still debating. I can see this blended together, the orange, the purple, with a white or a black. I haven't decided yet. I don't know. So I don't know if I'm going to do them separate or if I'm going to try to card them together and make a Halloween type card together Halloween colors. And so we will see. I have to think on that a little bit. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, if you have any questions or comments, I always answer those. Put them down below in the comment box. If you don't already, please subscribe to my channel and put the thumbs up on this video if you liked it. Have a great day, and I hope you're creating something.